Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. This is a video I contemplated on whether or not I wanted to do this or not, because there's a whole lot of information, and it's not exactly the easiest to try to keep it all together. But I wanted to talk a little bit about the issue going on with Hockey Canada. It's not good, not good at all. This for some people who aren't entirely familiar with this whole thing, this all basically stems back from 2018. I think the 2018 World Junior Team. And before I get a little more into that, again, I'd like to welcome you to the channel. If you're new, hopefully you'll enjoy the video. If you do, hit like and subscribe. That would be absolutely fantastic. It would be very greatly appreciated, as the kids are screaming upstairs. But so this issue going on. And there's been numerous, little updates and stuff. I know the first time I had heard of this really was Rick Westhead. He works, I believe, he's for one of the I think he works for one of the papers up in Toronto, and I had seen a bunch of tweets that he was talking about, and how about how this young lady apparently they were at a party or something, and she went back with a few of the players from the World Junior Team, and some things happened. Some things happened. I don't want to get into a whole lot of details of what happened there, but I heard alcohol was involved, but this whole thing has sprouted into it's blown up. It's blown up huge, and I mean it's blown up to the point where Canadian Parliament has wanted to hear from the Hockey Canada organization, and now there was one that just came out. What is it today? Okay, today's the 22nd. It's an article that just came out today from Katie Strang on in the Athletic, saying Halifax and London police investigating alleged sexual assault involving Hockey Canada players. This is from 2003. Is this new thing? So there's been some, there's been something rotten going on in Hockey Canada if this dates back to 2003, I mean we're talking 20 years here. That's there. How deep does this stuff go? And especially come from 2003. I mean, if these were players that were on, because this was Hockey Canada's 2003 junior team. Now, most of those players, most likely, are probably retired, have played elsewhere, whatever, and it's just they've reopened this one because of the investigation into the 2018 allegations. And hearing some of the stuff that's coming out, it's crazy. And the fact there was, from what I was hearing, when Rick Westhead was doing some digging and he found this. Well, I think no, somebody I think gave him a tip that then led him to getting into this story. He found that there was a lawsuit that hadn't exactly been settled, but then once he started doing some digging, all of a sudden it got settled within like 3 weeks, which is really weird because that normally does not work that way. And it's a disaster. I mean, this whole thing, I mean, you're talking Canadian junior team members. You've got some of these guys. I mean, some of these guys, they're playing in the NHL right now. I know one of them that they had talked to was Cale Makar, and of course, a lot of these players have denied, any involvement. Saying, I wasn't there. This, that, and the other. But it just, like I said, there's so much information. Me trying to put out all the information. There's so much there. I don't think I could necessarily do it justice. But there's a ton there. And Rick Westhead, I mean, he's one who has gone fully in depth into this, and he is sticking with this, and he's gonna stick with this story till its conclusion. But there's talk, because I think there were like 10 players, 10 to 12 players that they were looking at that that were potentially at this party, and they're trying to narrow down. Okay, who was there, who might have been talking to this young lady, who would have, maybe talked her into coming back to the hotel room or wherever, and they're trying to narrow it down. And there is potential for possible criminal charges. I mean, if they find out who these players are, because it's entirely possible that the names of the players, if they find out who's involved, the names of these players are going to come out. And there could be criminal charges that could come from all this. If these players are in the NHL right now, we're talking, the initial investigation was from the 2018 World Junior team. So these players are all playing in the NHL right now. They're either playing in the NHL or they're, playing somewhere. They're playing hockey somewhere. But this is crazy, and it has made it all the way to the Canadian Parliament. That's what's even crazier, is this has made it all the way to the Canadian Parliament. And it just Hockey Canada's in some serious trouble. I mean, some serious trouble. And the fact that these guys went in front of Hockey Canada, or from Hockey Canada, went in front of Parliament, and they weren't ready with the information that they wanted. So the Canadian Parliament said, "Go back. We'll reconvene in like 2 or 3 weeks. I think toward the end of the month is when they're supposed to go back in front of Parliament again." They're like, "Go get the stuff you need. Go get the stuff that we want to hear. Bring that information back that we want. We're looking for this. Bring that all back here. They're going balls to the wall." Because there's Canadian federal funds that are involved. There's a whole bunch of stuff. I mean, federal funds that go to Hockey Canada that potentially could get shut off. It's just crazy. And the fact that this is it just and it all stems from they were in London, Ontario. That's where this entire thing apparently starts, because it was as I'm reading this Katie Strang article here. They were brought into London. It was a Hockey Canada Foundation golf and gala, a 2-day event. Recognizing the champions and others. It included a nice dinner, a golf outing, and a lot of the players participated in that. Some executives also did. And sponsors, corporate partners, businesses, local businesses. I mean, the whole gamut basically was at this event, and a lot of them were staying at this hotel in London, and this is apparently where at this event is when this young lady met some of the players, and they talked her into coming back with them, and it goes from there. I don't want to get into all the graphic stuff here, but it just this is the kind of stuff. It's insane. And the fact that this could be that some of these players could get, could be held criminally liable, and the fact that now this investigation has spawned a new one dating back from 2003. So you've got almost 20 years of stuff going on. How often has this happened? How often has Hockey Canada and some of these players been involved in this? Now, some of these players on the junior team, these are teenagers. They're teenagers. They're some of them are as young as 15, 16 years old. So they're teenagers. Now, what I think and what I've been hearing they might do, because I think the World Junior Tournament is it next month? I think it's next month, or it's coming up. But the World Junior Tournament's happening again, and there's talk that they may leave Canada out. They may tell Canada, no, we're not letting you in this until you get your stuff figured out. So Canada may not even be welcome at the World Junior Tournament this year. And the fact that this investigation from 2018 is now going back to 2003, and I don't know either if, these are being these are teenagers, do they not have chaperones? Any kind of outing, any kind of field trip or any kind of outing that a junior high or a high school here in the States would do, or at least, any school that's got a brain in their head, they're sending adults with them. They're sending adults with them to be, to be chaperones, to watch over everything. How do you not have chaperones here? And if you didn't have chaperones here, you better start. Because this whole thing, the young lady ends up in this room, and she had said 8 players had sexually assaulted her. This is crazy, and the fact that the London PD was notified that evening that this is going on. The fact this is 4 years later, and Hockey Canada would then pay the woman an undisclosed sum of money to settle a legal claim she brought. So, now after news of the settlement became public, there would be hearings before the Parliament, which continued, and Hockey Canada officials face questions, and they will face more questions when they have all the material that the Parliament is wanting. And this is a disaster. I mean, you talk about a black eye. A black eye for Hockey Canada. And the fact that hearing this could spell the end for Hockey Canada, for at least that particular organization. I mean, there's always probably going to be a Canadian hockey organization, but Hockey Canada as an organization, they could be done if this gets uglier. And it will not surprise me if this gets uglier. And this is a video I've thought about doing, but I'm like because this is deep. There's a lot of stuff involved here, and Rick Westhead has done yeoman's work doing all this and looking into every single detail, and he's not letting it go. That's for sure. He's following this until its conclusion. But this is gonna be crazy, and just the fact that the fact that this happened in London, Ontario, which hockey's pretty popular in London, Ontario. I mean, they have the London Knights. That's their CHL team, their Canadian Junior League team, and a team that back in the day Mitch Marner played for. Mitch Marner won a Memorial Cup with them, and the fact that there's potentially 8 players out there that might have been involved in this. And because right now nobody knows who the players are. That's not going to last, I don't think. I think the names of a lot of these players, especially when they start connecting all the dots, these players are going to be known. These players are going to be known, and it's gonna, they'll whittle down to whoever they need to, and the fact that criminal charges could be coming, because apparently up in Canada there is no statute of limitations on sexual assault, rape, stuff like any kind of crime like that. There's no statute of limitations. Here in the States, for some reason, there is. I think there's a 5-year statute of limitations on crimes like that, which I'm sorry, there shouldn't be. There shouldn't be any limitations on that. I mean, considering, hey, we're looking at, they're going back and looking at claims from now dating back to 2003. So there could be some fallout from that one too. I mean, this is going to have some serious ramifications when this is all said and done. And if anything serious comes out from the 2003 one, oh boy, this could be bad. This is I mean, it's bad right now, but it could get even worse. And like I said, I mean, there's articles in The Athletic from Katie Strang, and this one article that came out today was Katie Strang, Dan Robeson, and Ian Mendez. Needless to say, if you don't have a subscription to The Athletic, you're missing out. There's a lot. I mean, there's a lot of cool stuff in The Athletic, and it's not very, and I think what is it, like $5 for a year's subscription, something like that. It's nuts. It's like it's well worth it, because you see stories like this. You don't see, you're not seeing stuff like this on ESPN, or even, NHL. The NHL website might mention it a little bit, but the Athletic, they go in depth. This is nuts. So if you don't have a subscription to the Athletic, get it. You can check out all these articles there, and if you're wanting every little detail, because I don't even know every single detail, but I thought I've got to give some thoughts on this, and I've thought for a while, do I really want to delve into this? And I'm like, it's hockey related. I'm operating a hockey channel. I kind of have to. I kind of have to. When I say I talk about anything hockey related, anything, including stuff like this, which is not the kind of video I would want to make. These are the type of videos I don't want to make. Something that sheds light on stuff like this. But especially for what happened with this young lady. But this has got to be found out. Parliament has to get involved. Police. There's got to be a resolution to this, and hopefully there will be soon. And again, Rick Westhead has been the tip of the spear on this, especially on Twitter. He's written some pretty lengthy threads on this. So if you're wanting to check those out, look for Rick Westhead on Twitter. I'm on. I have a Twitter account, but I don't really know how to use it. I'm virtually new with that, so I don't really use that a lot. I'm not even totally sure how to follow people. Shows how computer literate I am, honestly. But yeah, check. If you've got a Twitter account, go check out Rick Westhead. Give him a follow. However whatever you do to follow somebody on Twitter, and go check it out. Go read some of these articles. There's a lot of stuff here. A lot of some deep stuff here that you're gonna have to put some waders on to wade into this, because that's a lot. There is a lot, and I just I thought I gotta talk about this a little bit, so I figured I'd do a little discussion here, talking about some of the gist of what's going on, and because this isn't getting a lot of play in the States. This isn't anywhere on any sports news. ESPN hasn't even talked. Even ESPN hasn't even talked about this that I've seen. So and of course some people will be like, "Well, it's up in Canada. It's still got to do with the hockey world. It should be discussed everywhere." But so that's one of the main reasons why I thought I better talk a little bit about this. So that and unfortunately there's no good transition out of this subject, but go check out Rick Westhead on Twitter. If you don't have a subscription to the Athletic, think about getting one. All these articles are on there. They're fantastic, and yeah. So let me know what you guys think. You know, I'd love to know what you guys think. I'd love to know if a lot of you have even heard about this. Especially, you know, living down in the States, have you even heard about this whole scandal going on? Because, you know, it wouldn't surprise me if a lot of people in the States don't know. But you know, let me know what you guys think. I'd love to hear what you guys think about this. Have you heard about it? What are your thoughts on it? Oh, just bad. But again, let me know your thoughts on this. I'd love to know what you guys think. Have you heard of this? And if you have, you know, let me know what you guys think. You know, go balls to the wall if you want to. But yeah. Again, there's really no good transition out of this. But you know, if hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. If you were new and you just saw my channel for the first time, and this is the video you happen to see, hopefully you enjoyed it. If you enjoyed it, hit that like button. If you really enjoyed it, hit the subscribe button down there. Don't be afraid to let some friends know that you know, there's a crazed hockey fan in Minnesota who's got his own YouTube channel who loves talking hockey no matter what the subject is. So again, let me know what you guys think. Hit like and subscribe if you enjoy the content. And I'll see you guys again later.